Welcome to the Now Report on TV47. My name is Brian Furaha. It's a beautiful, beautiful Thursday. The week is almost over, but as always, niko hapa na nyinyi, and I have a lot for you today. Now, junior schools in Kisumu are completely changing how kids do science by moving the entire chemistry lab onto a digital screen. Because of a massive shortage of actual physical lab equipment, students are ditching real test tubes for virtual laboratories. It is generally a clever way to bridge a resource gap, but the homework strategy is where the real entertainment begins. The expectation is that kids will just borrow their parents' smartphones after school to keep running science simulations. Now imagine coming home after a long day, trying to check your messages or look at your screen only to find your phone held hostage by a middle schooler doing advanced thermodynamics. Hold on, you can't have your phone back yet. My virtual Bunsen burner is a critical temperature and I'm right in the middle of a chemical breakthrough. It is a beautifully absurd reality check. We might not have enough physical test tubes to go around, but as long as parents have a full battery and a little bit of mobile data left, the future of global science is apparently completely covered. No. It's honestly, I genuinely think that it could work, it could not, because again, there is a bit of practicality where you get to physically handle the test tubes and everything. Having it done digitally might not be the same, but it might work. Let me just say, we will see how that specific idea works, but I'm skeptical. That's just me. Now, in eastern Libya, the ancient Greek and Roman ruins of Cyrene and Apollonia have survived millennia of human history, but recently they've had to survive the absolute worst of modern times. First becoming prime targets for jihadist groups, and then getting slammed by the catastrophic floods from Storm Daniel. But while global superpowers look away, a tiny underfunded squad of local Libyan archaeologists has essentially stepped up as the real-life avengers of cultural preservation, operating in a highly volatile region with next to no resources. These researchers aren't sitting in comfy academic offices. They are out in the dirt every single day doing the gritty and glamorous work of clearing tons of thick, suffocating debris left behind by the deluge. Yani the jihadists. The sheer scale of what they are fighting for was put perfectly by Ahmad S. Abdul Karim, a senior antiquities official. He pointed out that the beautiful irony of their struggle. These priceless pieces of history aren't just Libyan property to be locked away in a local vault. They belong to the heritage of the entire world.
Nobody knows about the site, and this site is spectacular, breathtaking view. I hope in the future many of tourists will come and visit, and Cyrene will attract many people, I think, in the future. But right now we see only little, like a small number of groups comes, like sometimes monthly and weekly, and few numbers of the tourists. But right
now, the luckiest kids in the world right now wako in Japan, where school districts have officially upgraded to bare days. The city of Utsunomiya completely shut down all 94 of its public primary and junior high schools. The reason for this sudden citywide vacation? A single 3-foot-tall black bear decided to go on a casual weekend stroll through a downtown shopping district. Because this was the area's first ever bear sighting, authorities skipped right past mild concern and went straight into a full apocalyptic panic. They didn't just cancel algebra, they deployed a fleet of patrol cars, blasting loudspeakers, urging 500,000 residents to lock themselves inside their homes. Now, to be fair, security footage did catch the bear sprinting right past some incredibly bewildered bystanders in the city center. But closing nearly 100 schools over one lost animal is a beautifully absurd reality check. It proves that we can build a massive high-tech, ultra-modern civilization, but a single creature the size of a laundry hamper can still effortlessly hold an entire municipality hostage. You just know every student in that city is currently sitting at home, silently cheering that the bear on and hoping that he decides to check out their local arcade next. Yeah, but sijui kama wamefurahia ukweli ama juu anyway, but 94 schools cause ya bea moja, that's up there. Huku kwetu bana, hata kukinyesha lazima uende shule. Yeah, if you've been in primary or high school and you're in day school, lazima hata kukinyesha kiaje lazima uende shuleni. Now, a contractor in Colorado opened his pickup tractor only to find a live black bear. Again, tumerudi kwa bears, sitting comfortably in the passenger seat. It wasn't tearing up the upholstery or panicking. It was just sitting there, perfectly upright, looking like it was waiting for him to finally put the keys in the ignition so they could hit the road. Now, naturally, before doing anything to save his own life, the man immediately, like, of course, the generation to Kondani, stopped to take photos. Because let's be honest, if you tell your boss you're late because a whole bear iliamua kukaa shotgun, you're getting fired without photographic evidence. That is if you don't have any photographic evidence. Now, he ultimately evicted the trespasser using a classic piece of construction, construction site diplomacy, a 2x4 wooden board. It is a beautiful, absurd reminder that if you live in bear country and forget to lock your doors, you're not just risking theft, you're accidentally running a free Uber service for the local fauna. But I think I heard somewhere that we have a bear in Kenya. I need to confirm, and if there is one singular bear in Kenya, if I'm not wrong, and it's the only bear in Africa, but I will need to confirm that, and if there is, nakimbia kuenda kuiona. Now, if you think your company's HR department is bad at handling workplace emergencies, wait until you hear the absolute madness happening on the high seas. An Indian seafarer passed away under mysterious circumstances on a cargo ship near Venezuela, but when his body was finally returned to his family back home, a tragic situation turned into a straight-up international thriller. The family opened the casket to find his body heavily stitched up, with local medical officials later revealing that almost all of his internal organs were completely missing. Instead, his torso was allegedly stuffed with drugs. Now, the official explanation floated by authorities is that this was just a standard part of an overseas autopsy, because apparently nothing says routine medical procedure quite like replacing a man's anatomy with household fabric. Naturally, the family isn't buying the corporate line, and is demanding a government probe into alleged foul play and illegal organ harvesting. It is a darkly absurd reality check on the shipping industry, proving that sometimes the official excuses are way more terrifying than a literal ghost story. And honestly, I don't blame the family. Man, of course, you lost your loved one, my condolences, and then they come back and they're stitched up with fiber in the body. That is just foul play, if you look at it that way. Now, tuendele. Historic June heatwave just shattered records across the UK, turning a West London care home into a high-stakes climate defense zone. Staff at Kingsley Court were in overdrive, dragging residents into the shade and aggressively tracking hydration. But care manager Shiny Mathapan highlighted a silent, heartbreaking hurdle. For residents living with dementia, they don't just feel hot. They frequently forget to ask for water or fail to recognize they are thirsty. While politicians argue over climate models, 97-year-old resident Lucine Nazikian delivered the ultimate unfiltered reality check. Nature is angry with us because we destroy everything.
Elderly residents are very vulnerable to the heat, mainly because their body will not be able to regulate the temperature as they used to do so. So the preparation for heat waves is very important. So when we get like an announcement to say that or the forecast to say there is a heat wave coming up, it's the preparation as a team, as a family is very important to save the residents, mainly to make sure that they are well hydrated.
Geologists have been caught in a decades-long academic beef over a giant underwater hole. And the way they try to settle it is hilariously petty. Now, ever since discovering the Silver Pit crater beneath the North Sea, scientists have been viciously fighting over its origin. One side will argue it was a violent asteroid strike, while the other will insist that it was just some underground salt shifting around. The drama got so intense that in 2009, geologists literally held a formal vote to decide what really happened, and the democracy officially ruled against the asteroid. But then it turns out you can't democratically elect your way out of cosmic physics. Researchers just used advanced seismic imaging, essentially giving the Earth an ultrasound, and found the ultimate receipts deep in the seabed. They discovered rare shocked crystals that can only be forged by the mind-boggling pressure of a space collision. This completely overturns that 2009 election, proving that a 160-meter wide asteroid did in fact smash into the ocean and trigger a terrifying 330-foot tsunami. Yeah, our they were not going to accept that now. They always say, "Hata kama it's been so long, lazima I prove to you that I'm right." It's like a sibling rivalry. Anyway, that is all from me today. My name is Brian Furaha. You take care, have a lovely day, but stick around. Tuko na TV47 at 1 and Jioni, the Now Report with Daddy Mato. Take care and have a lovely day.